So I've been thinking about this a lot lately. What defines luxury in 2026? Luxury used to feel like you were entering in a whole other world. You didn't just buy something. You were a part of something. You were a part of something special. Whether you were spending money on a high-end lipstick or the handbag you had been saving months to buy, there was a ritual to it, intention, excitement. So when did it all start feeling so different? Especially now when you can just put it in your cart, go pick it up. When did luxury stop feeling rare and started to feel rushed? Luxury was never just about how something was made, but the experience and how it made you feel. When you walked into the store, you worked with an associate, and you took it home. And in that moment of receiving it, when now it might feel ordinary, is it still luxurious? Is it still extraordinary? What do you think?
Sorry. It's discontinued.
When I think about luxury, I don't just think about price tags or logos. For me personally, I think about the experience. Because when I first started working in luxury beauty, we were trained in storytelling. We didn't just prioritize, selling goals. You don't just memorize product features. We learned the history of the house, the inspiration behind the fragrances, the philosophy behind the brand. And it wasn't about just pushing a product. It was about inviting someone into this world of the brand and really creating that experience when a client sat down at the counter. We slowed the moment down. We talked about where the fragrance comes from and why a formula was created, what made it special. And when a client left with a lipstick or their fragrance, their full new makeup look based on the trends of the times, what they were experiencing was a part of the brand, feeling like you were part of the runway look. They walked away feeling like they were a part of something, part of the story. And the ritual and that experience, it added value. The experience created the luxury. And I loved being a part of that, especially for my clients. It's so interesting looking at luxury as storytelling and marketing. Luxury has always been built on storytelling. Sometimes that story was craftsmanship and the artisans and the people who were putting it together in the houses and in the shops and, faraway places. Sometimes the story was about its heritage. But of course, we all know sometimes, a lot of times, most of the time, it was marketing. A famous example is the diamond industry. Looking at diamonds, they weren't always considered rare or necessary for engagement rings. But in the early 1900s, companies like De Beers built one of the most successful marketing campaigns in history. They turned a simple stone into a symbol of love and commitment. A diamond is forever, as the famous Marilyn Monroe would say. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. But something suddenly that was once just a rock in the ground became one of the most desired luxury items in the world. And that shows how powerful storytelling can be. Luxury, it isn't always about the object itself. Sometimes luxury is the meaning that we attach to it, the feeling that we get from that moment we experience. And that's where things start to shift. Today, especially looking at how luxury is more accessible than it's ever been before. You can shop online, you can order something overnight, you can discover brands through social media. Click, click, click in the cart, next day delivery. For a really high-end fragrance, high-end handbag, pre-owned. With that growth, it comes with change. Brands expand, production scales, and experience, it can sometimes become faster and definitely more transactional. So luxury, it's just evolved, and it's evolved in a way that I just almost don't recognize. It's just changed so much. So what does luxury mean today? Is it the item itself, or is it in the moment that comes with it? You think about something like a pre-owned handbag, sometimes those bags are even more expensive today than they were originally purchased in a boutique. You might order it online, pre-owned. It arrives in a box, maybe overnight shipping. You open it, there it is, the bag you've been dreaming about. But did you get the same experience? There's no counter, no associate, no storytelling, no ceremony. Of course, you can love the bag just as much. But think about how it would feel when you walk into the store and you get to experience that whole ritual, that whole ceremony. So it raises an interesting question. Are we more attached to the item itself now, just having it, saying, look at me? Or did the experience used to be a part of what made it feel luxurious? Maybe it depends on the consumer. Some people fall in love with the object. Others fall in love with the moment that came with it. And for the longest time, luxury gave us both. So luxury today, it balances craft and growth, of course. Times are changing. Some products evolve and some we truly miss. Like for me, I miss the Ford Traceless Matte Foundation, which I absolutely loved. Loved. But then there's the new discoveries, which I've just found the Ilia Limitless Mascara that I just bought. It's a clean line, beautiful and amazing for your lashes. I really like it. It separates my lashes. But anyway, luxury brands. Yeah, I can just walk into my Sephora and pick up my mascara. I might not get that whole experience. Or I can go and grab my Dior lipstick and pick it up at Sephora. But walking into Sephora and comparing it to going into Dillard's or going into the Dior boutique, where you choose to grab your item of luxury, your luxurious beauty items. It's up to you. I guess it's the value that you place on the ritual, the ceremony, the memory, the moment for that. It's what matters to you. And now we get to choose more than ever. It just depends on how much money we want to spend if we want to go get that handbag in the boutique. But when was the last time you bought something that felt like a moment and not just a purchase? Think about that. You decide what's important for you because you deserve it. So I know today's episode was short and sweet, but I thank you guys so much for sitting with me today and listening to this episode. And I'm curious, are there any luxurious moments that you've had that you want to share? If so, send me a message on sorryitsdiscontinued.com. And if you want to continue listening, hit follow or subscribe. And I love you guys. Please take care of yourselves. Make sure that you're loving on yourself and doing something nice for you. And smile, whether you're behind the counter or in front of it. And I'll see you next week. All right. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to Sorry, It's Discontinued, the podcast that brings you the reality of retail and the people, brands, stores, and products we all love. If you enjoyed today's episode, hit follow, leave a review, or share it with a fellow retail warrior. You can always connect with me or support the show at sorryitsdiscontinued.com or buymeacoffee.com/sorrypodcast. Now, this podcast is independently produced and not sponsored by any brand, company, or organization. All views, opinions, and personal stories shared are their own and do not represent any retailer or brand mentioned. Brand names, product references, and service mentions are included for storytelling and commentary purposes only. But I thank you so much for sitting with me today. And remember, continue to shop in store, support your local stores and your local sales associates. You can even call them and order. It's amazing. And every visit helps keep these stores open so we can all continue enjoying real in-person retail therapy. And I'll see you next time. I appreciate you so much. Bye.
Sorry. It's discontinued.